Welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Lori Johnson. Glad you're here. Today we're talking to Christian author GINNY BRANT, a cancer survivor who wrote the book Unleash Your God-Given Healing, 8 Steps to Prevent and Survive Cancer. And it should be noted that these 8 steps also prevent other diseases, including COVID-19. This is because the tips in the book are ways to strengthen our immune system. GINNY, thanks so much for being here. Great to see you.
It's great to be on CBN, Lori. Thanks for having me.
When you were diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer, you were surprised because you didn't think you had any risk factors, but then you heavily researched the subject, and didn't you discover a number of risk factors you didn't realize you had?
I certainly did, but the first thing is the doctors themselves said I had none of the 8 risk factors for the cancer I got. So they did extensive genetic testing, and that showed nothing either. So that sent me on a quest to discover what caused my cancer. I did find 3 things. One is that I have dense breast, and the American Cancer Society is just beginning to call that a risk factor for breast cancer. Several mammograms missed my cancer. Then I found I had high toxic loads of endocrine disrupting chemicals in my body, and I had an estrogen-fed cancer. So when they found these chemicals, then we realized where some of this was coming from. And then the third thing I found, which is a risk factor now listed by many people, many doctors, for cancer, is long-term negative emotions. And my emotion was clearly grief. As my husband and I and my sister, we cared for all 4 parents as they were dying, including my in-laws. My dad from a 10-year journey with Alzheimer's, the most painful journey of my life. So that long-term grief can actually derail or suppress your immune system. So I would now call all 3 of those risk factors for my breast cancer that no one was talking about 5 years ago when I was diagnosed, but they're clearly mentioning them today as possibilities.
One of the most troubling cancer-causing agents are these xenoestrogens. Can you tell us what they are and how to avoid them?
They are actually chemicals that mimic the role of estrogen in your body. They're coming in through water. They're coming in through the foods that we eat that are heavily pesticided, because a lot of the pesticides that were found in my body are endocrine disrupting chemicals, or these xenoestrogens. And they're also found in personal care products we put on our skin. And whatever touches our skin, a certain percentage of that gets into our bloodstream.
Well, it's interesting to note that you actually did go the traditional route of cancer treatment, but you combined it with the lifestyle changes that you recommend in the book. How did this amaze your doctors?
Well, first of all, I was treated by Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and they put a holistic approach into what they do for you. They give you a naturopathic doctor on your case and a nutritionist, 2 very valuable people in the cancer journey. And these people were just phenomenal at helping me. I went beyond what they asked me to do and did my own research as well. But when the harsh chemotherapy was over, my doctors called me their rock star cancer patient, because my white and red blood cells were all back within normal limits. And they said this usually takes several years to achieve.
That's quite a testimonial about some of the things you mention in the book. Well, in the book, you do talk a lot about the importance of gut health in fighting disease, including cancer, of course. And we want to have lots of that good bacteria in our intestines. What are some of the things that we need to do to have a healthy gut? And conversely, what do we need to avoid?
Well, first of all, we have to realize that 70% of our immune system is located in those gut cells. So the gut, the health of the gut, really matters. When we take antibiotics, it does temporarily destroy that gut. So we have to, even though the antibiotics can save our life, we must rebuild. But when we take chemotherapy, you talk about destroying the gut and over a long period of time. So during my cancer journey, my naturopathic doctor and my nutritionist were telling me different things to do to protect the gut, and I was eating foods to build the gut, probiotic foods, fruits and vegetables to provide prebiotic fiber to to actually feed those probiotics in my body. I was taking a probiotic supplement as well. And then you want to avoid foods like fried foods, gluten, possibly dairy, and anything that you eat that you might have a personal allergy to. It might be a health food, but if it causes an allergic reaction in you, it's not healthy for you and it can damage your gut.
What did you discover about organic foods? From a health perspective, how important is it to buy organic foods, and is it worth the added expense?
Oh, to me, it's worth the added expense because I was a $600,000 cancer patient. That's what it took to save this girl's life. So, but I do it in a reasonable way. If you look at the EWG, Environmental Working Group website, they will give you the dirty dozen, the dirtiest pesticide residue fruits and vegetables, and the clean 15. The clean 15 means there's not much pesticide residue. So if you eat from the clean 15, you're generally okay. But when you're eating from the dirty dozen, you want to make sure those are organic. But I definitely believe that organic is the way to go. And even breastcancer.org and the American Cancer Society is just starting to mention that this might be important.
One of the things you emphasize heavily in the book is the importance of exercise so the lymphatic system operates properly, and also to reduce stress, which is a major risk factor. Can you elaborate on the importance of exercise?
Exercise was my best friend and advocate throughout the entire journey. I did it, honestly, to simply relieve the stress that I was under, but I found out it did so much more for me. You see, your lymphatic system is part of your immune system, but it's one of the few systems in our body that only works properly when we exercise and move. So when you're going through chemotherapy, if you are constantly moving before and afterwards during the day, you're getting helping those chemicals to get to the cancer cells, and then your lymphatic system is your trash disposal system. You want to pump all those germs and bacteria and the toxins from the chemotherapy out of your body. So for my first surgery, I had over 100 stitches. They wanted me to, walk a few rounds around the hospital floor so I could get the catheter out. Instead, I walked 2 miles that day. When my surgeon came to see me in my room, she said, "I'm releasing you early. You'll have no breast tubes to manage when you get home. Your body has taken care of all the drainage, lessened your risk for blood clots, and done so many things to help you to, do well after this surgery." And then when it's time for chemotherapy, again, you're helping to pump those toxins out of your system. Let them do their job and then pump them out by walking and exercising. And then it helped me to hold my bone density during the cancer journey.
What exercise do you do now? I mean, now that you're not in cancer treatment, and what do you recommend for other people to do?
Well, walking, according to a lot of doctors and scientists, is the most beneficial exercise you can do. So I recommend that in the cancer journey and every day, because if you walk, you're pumping that lymphatic system to pump the toxins out of your body. And we all accumulate toxins and bacteria and germs. So like during COVID, it's important that people keep moving during the day and not be a couch potato. So I also do, yes, the weight-bearing exercises, and I had a yoga expert and a PT therapist put together a 30-minute exercise for me that actually oxygenates my body. It's a stretching exercises, and it builds bone density by holding those PT and yoga poses. It stresses the bone because, again, chemotherapy and the hormone blocking pills that a lot of estrogen-fed cancer patients take, your bone density is going to take a hit, and you've got to reverse that.
Well, we're talking with GINNY DENT BRANT, the author of Unleash Your God-Given Healing, 8 Steps to Prevent and Survive Cancer. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Stay with us.
Hey, if you're tired and exhausted all day, you can't think clearly, and you really just need a cup or even a pot of coffee to get through your day, then join me, Dr. Josh Axe, for this new series where I'm going to teach you how to transform your diet and use essential oils and supplements to get a better night's sleep.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 to get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
It's about the competition.
I kind of put that pressure on myself, and I think people had expectations.
It's about overcoming.
We use this phrase all the time: keep chopping, keep practicing hard.
It's about going the distance.
You know, I think as a father, it's my job, to lead. Just be the best husband and father I can be.
Watch Going the Distance with Sean Brown Saturday night at 7:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
We're back, and we're speaking with GINNY DENT BRANT, the author of Unleash Your God-Given Healing, 8 Steps to Prevent and Survive Cancer. GINNY, we've discussed the harmful chemicals in our foods, but what about the chemicals in products that are absorbed into our bodies through the skin, which you mentioned a moment ago, like cosmetics? Can you give us an idea of exactly what we're talking about, and specifically what we need to change, regardless of whether we have cancer now or are trying to prevent it?
Well, the first thing we have to realize is that 60% of what we put on our skin, according to scientists, 60, maybe 70%, gets to the capillaries below and circulates throughout our body. A lot of the chemicals we're using in our makeup and our skincare and personal care products are not allowed in the European countries, yet they are allowed here. We're talking about parabens, phthalates, and these endocrine disrupting hormones. So when you start reading what's in your cosmetics and personal care products, and the average woman uses 12 a day, the average man uses 6. But when you put it all together, we are getting a toxic load just from what we put on our skin. And if we would just use simpler, non-toxic agents instead. For example, if you want to moisturize your skin and prevent skin aging, pure coconut oil. There's nothing better. It's inexpensive, no chemicals. It's just from nature. So I give you in the book all the changes that you can make and different suggestions for each item so that you're using something that doesn't contribute to your toxic load. But understand, you don't have to be perfect, because God has given us 5 filtering systems, including our skin, our lungs, our kidneys, our colon. And these filtering systems help to get some of these chemicals out. So we don't have to be perfect, but we must lower our toxic load, because toxic load was definitely too high in me. And I totally flunked this step in my book, and I learned it from the School of Hard Knocks.
So when you talk about toxic load, what about cleaning products, the things that we use to clean our home? And there are so many of them. What about the chemical risk there, and how do we fix that?
Well, we've got ammonia and bleach are 2 of the most common cleaning ingredients that we use to clean our home, I no longer use those ingredients because bleach was found at high levels in my body. So there are so many things out there: vinegar, baking soda, essential oils. There are more products on the market that are non-toxic today that we have a choice. We can simply swap one out for another. But according to the EPA, the most toxic place we're exposed to is right in our own home. And it's all the different products that we are using that are giving off these chemicals in the air or on our skin, or we're cleaning with them. And so we can simply change those, and we've lowered our toxic load.
You discussed the importance of eating healthy foods, but you also recommend supplements in case we don't get everything we need in our diet. Can you talk about that?
Sure. I had 3 doctors in the cancer journey recommend to me that I keep my vitamin D3 levels at a certain level as determined by a blood test. And they now check that on me every single year. You can ask your doctor to do that test on you. They said, Ed, had my levels been higher to begin with, I probably wouldn't have gotten cancer in the first place. And it's also a major preventative for viruses and flus and even COVID-19. You've noticed that a lot of doctors are recommending, once they get it, that they take vitamin D as well as vitamin C and zinc. But a lot of doctors are saying be preventative. Even Dr. Fauci said, you know, I'm taking these things. I just wish he had said it sooner so that other people could benefit from being preventative in the first place.
Any other supplements besides vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C?
I definitely recommend selenium for the cancer patient, but everybody needs to be on a good multi-mineral vitamin. And my naturopathic doctors recommended turmeric for me, as well as green tea extract. And there is a cruciferous vegetable extract that you can take, which lowers your risk for breast cancer or lowers my risk for it coming back. I eat 1 or 2 cruciferous vegetables a day. I also take the supplement. And the American Cancer Society talked about that research, cruciferous vegetables lowering your risk for breast cancer, in the 1980s.
This is such great information from someone who's really done the research and has lived it. We're going to take a quick break. We're speaking with GINNY DENT BRANT, the author of Unleash Your God-Given Healing, 8 Steps to Prevent and Survive Cancer. Stay with us.
I am Region's first ROTC graduate student.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm Ephraim Graham. Welcome to Studio 5.
Get on it.
All that's new and now in the world of uplifting entertainment with celebrity interviews.
There's a higher contribution I will make.
Musical performances.
I'll give you my best praise.
Plus movie and TV news.
See it and be uplifted.
On Studio 5. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern at cbn.com/Studio 5.
How'd you like to get a redo on your health, on your body, on your arteries, so you could have the energy you had 20 years ago? The great news is you can. I'm Dr. Mike Roizen, chair of the Wellness Institute at the Cleveland Clinic. I've written 4 New York Times bestsellers. But even better than having to read all that, you can listen to this DVD and watch it. Protect your heart? Yes, you can. Here's how.
Go to CBN.com or call 1-800-700-7000 for your free copy of Protect Your Heart. Let the medical experts show you their new discoveries on how to avoid heart disease and even reverse it. Easy steps to uncover the hidden dangers in your medicine cabinet, reduce stress, and get a complete do-over for your health. Call 1-800-700-7000. That's 1-800-700-7000. Or go to CBN.com to claim your free copy of Protect Your Heart.
CBN News presents an election night special with live coverage starting at 7 p.m. Get updates on the campaigns, plus analysis on the shifting balance of power. Watch on the CBN News Channel or on the CBN News app.
Welcome back. We're talking with Ginny Dent Brandt, the author of Unleash Your God-Given Healing, 8 Steps to Prevent and Survive Cancer. Now, Ginny, you were not a smoker or a drinker, but tell us what you learned about smoking and drinking when it comes to cancer and other diseases.
I did learn that smoking is a risk factor for all cancers, not just lung and throat and mouth cancer. And it's also a risk factor for almost any disease. If you add smoking to any disease, you're not going to come out very well. And then alcohol can actually be, if you had a glass of wine every night at dinner, that might not be so bad because of the resveratrol and because it might be kind of good for your gut because of the fermentation. But you can also get the same thing from eating grapes. But the problem with alcohol is when you go past that 1 drink for women and 2 drinks for men, your risk for every disease and every cancer then goes up. So definitely both of them are risk factors, along with obesity being the #1 risk factor for all diseases and all cancers.
And we know that obesity is such a problem when it comes to COVID-19 as well.
Amen. Something to think about.
When it comes to simple but often overlooked healthy choices, drinking enough water is one of them. You talk about that in the book. And also you talk about filtered water and some contaminants that can be found in our tap water.
Yes, we have to realize that, first of all, proper hydration enhances every cell and every system in our body. And during chemotherapy, lessens the side effects and enables the chemo to get to the cancer cells. So proper hydration is key. But our water today contains chlorine, and fluoride, both which have an impact on the thyroid. And the thyroid is under attack today because many Americans are taking Synthroid, the thyroid drug, if you have hypothyroidism, and that thyroid is your master control center for so many things in your body. So I do recommend that you filter the water. Consider it your responsibility to filter it further once the water company gets it to your house. And take back out the chlorine, which helped to keep the bacteria out. And I just don't think people need to be drinking fluoride in their water all day long. If you want it for your teeth, then brush your teeth with it. But there's also residue of other chemicals from our water table, including pesticides, that can get into that water. So it's just best that you filter it and drink more clean water that was more like what Adam and Eve drank.
All right, this is great information. We're going to be right back with Ginny. We are saving the best for last, how her cancer journey helped her grow closer to the Lord. Stay with us.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This election night, with a country divided and America's future hanging in the balance, go to a place you can trust. CBN News. CBN News presents an election night special with live coverage starting at 7 p.m. Get live updates on each of the campaigns, plus analysis on the shifting balance of power. Watch November 3rd at 7 p.m. on the CBN News Channel or download the CBN News app. CBN News, because truth matters.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh, no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls man, come...
Sorry, pardon pardon me. Sorry. Excuse me. Ouch.
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more. Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Well, again, we saved the best for last. Ginny is talking about her cancer journey. So tell us how your cancer journey affected your spiritual life, Ginny.
Well, I have to admit, Lori, that I was devastated at first, and I was riding the roller coaster of fear. And I finally realized if I'm going to get through this journey and come out on the other side vibrant and healthy, I've got to use my faith to manage my emotions. And I went to Philippians, where Paul's in prison, telling us how to get through trials in chapter 4. And he clearly tells us to pray about everything, give thanks to God, gratitude in everything, and to concentrate and focus on the good things, not all the things around me that were taking up my attention. And when I started to do that, things got better, only to find out in my research that all three of these things promote healing in the body. Someone that's been through a cancer journey like me with all the treatments and an aggressive cancer journey at that, I'm not promised tomorrow, but I frankly don't dwell on that. I see every day as a gift for me to be able to help others until God takes me home. And I'm just so grateful that our Heavenly Father created our bodies with this innate ability to heal and restore so that someone like me can go through a journey like this. And trust me, I don't want anyone to go through it. That's why I wrote the book. But you can go through a journey like this and your body can heal and regenerate afterwards, and you can be a part of allowing your body to work as God intended. He has blessed us with a wonderful immune system, and I'm just thankful for that and all the good things that happened along the way, including the support of my wonderful husband, who held my hand the whole way and loved me unconditionally when I had no hair, and after my breast cancer surgery, he loved me anyway. And that's healing.
It's so refreshing to hear you praise the Lord, even in the midst of your troubles, and for you to have gratitude. And it seems like you have turned around that negative attitude you talked about, which is very encouraging because all of us sometimes dwell in negative thoughts. And this is just such a great book. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Once again, the book is called Unleash Your God-Given Healing: 8 Steps to Prevent and Survive Cancer. Ginny Dent Brandt, you are an inspiration. Thanks so much for being here. Great to see you.
Thank you so much, Lori.
Well, we hope this show has been a blessing to you. If you'd like to watch previous episodes, log on to cbnnews.com and go to the show's link. Until next time, I'm Lori Johnson. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Healthy Living. Bye-bye, everyone.